guys, welcome to my vlog. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 4 of Savage Builds. And the name of this episode is Forging Excalibur. And what he's going to be using is, he bought a iron asteroid that cost him $1,400 on the internet, and he's going to use some of that asteroid to create his sword, which he called Excalibur. He goes to UC Berkeley to meet a Christy Reha cosmochemist from UC Berkeley, and she tells him a little bit about the different kinds of asteroid rocks that come down, and she helped him cut it in half and shine it and to tell him the history to see if it was good enough to be forged into a sword. And this asteroid had iron and nickel. And if there's too much nickel in an asteroid rock, then the asteroid will not be good to be forged. Also, when you go to mix asteroid metal with earth metal, sometimes it does not want to stick, so you have to really work it to make it stick together. Adam goes to this school in San Francisco. It teaches people how to forge swords and a bunch of other things, and so he's there, and they weld the asteroid to a piece of steel, and they start melting it and getting it to where it needs to be to start forming the sword. And they put it in the forge, which is at like 2400 degrees, and the forge is heating the metal, and then they pound it together and melt it. It's wanting to break away from the piece of steel they put in. They bring it to the pneumatic hammer, which is pounding it so it'll stay together. So they get that together, and then they put it through the kiln, and then they start pounding it and folding it over to make the metal stronger. And then once they do that, they start heating it up, and they start flattening it so it turns into a blade. Once they get it flat and looking like a sword, they start sharpening it and shining it to make it nimble like a sword. Once they've done that, they bring it through this process where they heat it up to 1485 degrees to make the molecules stick together and make the strong really strong. And after they have it in the kiln and get it up to 1485 degrees, they stick it in oil, and that oil cools it down and has the particles stick together, which makes the sword really strong. And then it goes to final sharpening, and the sword looks really cool. It has like these black lines in it, and it's just one really cool sword. Who's a swordsmith who helped him was Jeff Pringle, and Jeff Pringle helped him forge his sword. A sword master, Stephen Fick, he comes in and helps teach Adam Savage how to properly swing a sword. And he teaches him HEMA, which is Historical European Martial Arts. And that is what they used to, knights were taught to fight with by Historical European Martial Arts, was what they were taught in to fight. Stephen Fick is teaching Adam to swing the sword, and then Adam is swinging the sword at some bottles of water with blue dye, and the first time, there's 4 of them, he hits them, but it doesn't cut because he twisted the sword and it hit it with the dull part of the blade. He gets that pointed out to him, and he tries one bottle, and it starts out cleanly, but then he starts muscling it and twisting it so it cuts jaggedly. So then Adam gives the sword to Stephen Fick to cut a bottle, and he cuts it at an angle, and it's a clean cut, and it stays on the cutting table with liquid in the bottom. Then it goes to a human anatomy, top upper half of your body, and it has all the organs you have and ribs, and it's made out of gel, the skin and muscle, so it's exactly like a human body. Stephen Fix swings the sword. He does 3 different cuts, and it cuts big chunks out of the body. And then Adam gets to finish him off by jabbing the sword through the body of this fake human anatomy. Adam named his sword Excalibur, and this show was really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.